Today on Laurisa's Kitchen, I'm going to be making Twupcakes. And yes, this is another remake from a first season episode. That episode was so monumentally horrendous that it embarrassed me beyond the capacity for human speech. And Jilly was so mortified by her cameramanship that she hid under her bed for a week, and it took me a trail of chocolate chip cookies to coax her out from underneath. So here we go again. Alright, let's get started on these ingredients again. First, you're going to need to start off with 4 whole extra large eggs. We're going to put those on the mixer and we're going to beat the crap out of them. Okay, you can see that these have gotten very light and fluffy. They've completely changed. So now we're going to go ahead and add in 1 1/4 cups of white granulated sugar. And again, we're going to beat the crap out of this. Alright, you can see this has completely changed, and this is just the eggs and the sugar. Alright, so we're going to keep this on here, and we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder to 1 1/4 cups of cake flour. Now the cake flour rather than all-purpose flour will work better in this because we want our sponge cakes to be as light as possible. And all-purpose flour has just a little too much gluten. I've also got 1/2 cup of water. Now we're going to add the flour and the water alternately to the egg mixture, and we're going to beat just to incorporate. Alright, that's good. Now we want to work with this very quickly because we don't want our eggs to deflate. So let's get the last of this mixed in. Alright, and then I am going to be using this batter shooter to put this batter into my cupcake cups. Alright, we want to make sure that we have our oven preheated to 375 degrees because we don't want these to sit on the countertop at all, otherwise they'll start to deflate. Alright, into the oven for 10 to 12 minutes or until these are golden brown. Alright, the timer's gone off and we can check. They bounce back just a little bit, so these are ready to come out. Alright, now we need to let these cool completely because we are going to be filling them with the buttercream icing. One thing though, as soon as we can handle these, we have to get these out of the wrapper. They're a sponge cake and they have virtually no fat in them except for what's in the eggs, so the paper is going to want to cling to your sponge cake. Alright, while we're letting the cupcakes cool, this is a perfect time to get our butter softening for our frosting. You'll need 1/2 cup of butter, which is 1 stick. Alright, while we're letting our cupcakes cool, we do need to get started on the milk portion of the frosting. Now I've got 1 cup of milk along with 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. I've got this over medium-high heat. We're going to let this come to a boil and thicken. This is going to become the stabilized cream portion of this cream frosting. While this is coming to a boil, we need to make sure that we stir it continuously. Alright, this is thickened up. So we're just going to bring it over here and allow it to come to room temperature. Alright, we're getting ready to assemble this frosting. Now, in my bowl, I've got 1 stick of butter that I've softened and 1/3 cup of shortening. We are going to add 1 cup of white granulated sugar, and we are going to put this on the mixer and mix it until it's very fluffy. fairly well combined and nice and fluffy, you can see. We'll scrape down the sides. All right, we're going to get this milk put in here, and then we are going to let this mix until the frosting is completely smooth. We'll test it and make sure that we can't feel any grains of sugar. All right, we want to make sure we scrape down the sides a couple of times. Okay, this is starting to look nice and light and fluffy. I need to feel this to see if I can feel any. Yes, I can still actually feel sugar crystals. So we're going to go ahead and continue whipping this. All right, we'll give this one more check. Yes, that's nice and smooth. All right, we're going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm using clear vanilla because we want this frosting to stay as white as possible. So we'll go ahead and beat this for another minute. And of course, the easiest way to fill cupcakes, especially with something soft, is to use a disposable piping bag. Okay. We're going to start by filling these. The easiest way is to go ahead and poke this in the bottom and then start filling. And you can feel the cupcake puff up when it's full enough. We don't want to put in too much because we don't want to crack the top. All right. Now that we've gotten all these filled, let's go ahead and give one a taste. Just like a Twinkie! All right. Hurry, this is gonna thicken.